So I had a client of mine who was recently like, Hannah, is it really possible to manifest a specific person, especially to manifest a specific person to be a certain way? Because I'm having a really hard time believing that. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you actually what I said to her and how and why it is, yes, possible for you to manifest a specific person. Because I used to feel the same way. I used to think that if I'm trying to manifest a specific person, like, isn't that manipulative? Isn't that me trying to control them and make them be a certain type of way? And it is not. Unless you are physically being manipulative towards them, right? And you are literally going out of your way to try and control this person. But when it comes to intentionally manifesting a specific person, it is not manipulative and it is not wrong for you to do so. And the reason being is because everybody is you pushed out. Or in other words, other people are always reflecting back to you, number one, who you are being, like your dominant thoughts, beliefs about yourself, the world, other people, your behaviors, your patterns, your personality, your desires, your childhood experiences. And then number two, who you believe others are being and how they show up in your world and how they view you and treat you and how you believe them to be as a person. So for example, if you reflect back on all the times that you dated someone, made a friend or an enemy, doesn't matter, you made assumptions about who they were, how they viewed you, how they probably would treat you, and how your relationship would play out. And it was kind of like a quiet voice in your head, and it's usually subconscious, and it's based upon your past experiences, and then those assumptions you project onto those around you in your external world. And because of that, people have to show up as the version of them that you already assumed in your mind more often than not. So it only feels like you can't manifest your specific person to be this other version because you've only ever assumed the same version of them. So they've always showed up as that version. But when you change your self-concept and change the version you receive or experience or get from your specific person, then they have to show up as that version based upon those factors and other little nuances. But the secret really is changing you, and it all starts inward. This is why you actually can't change anything externally with physical force. It all starts inward, then it reflects in the 3D after practice of being the new self or choosing the new version of you that you receive from SP, and choosing the version of you that is in a loving, committed relationship and always chosen and always prioritized. So you always need to start with your self-concept. And more likely than not, if things are constantly like a roller coaster with your SP, there's no contact, things are not working out, and you've been doing all the practices, it's because you haven't changed your self-concept yet. Or you haven't chosen the version of you who is loved and prioritized and committed to. So that's where that needs to begin, right? So if you were the version of you who is loved, who is always prioritized, who is committed to, and believed that any man with two legs and that could breathe would want to give you his all and want to be with you, how would that version of you act? How would they show up, right? How would they treat themselves? What would they not allow in their relationships? What behaviors would they not allow their SP to treat them like? What behaviors would they allow their SP to treat them like if you were, in love with yourself and you knew your worth and things? And then I go on to say, like, now I know that may sound crazy because there is a lot of people out there who think like, men are trash, or I've always had like bad relationships, or things haven't been working out with my SP, so that sounds like a lot to even think that they would want to give me princess treatment or go all in for me. But then I said there's millions of women out there who believe that they're worthy of the best, that get what they want, and they're always chosen, so they only ever experience that reality. So you have to derive inspiration from women who are like that and who do have those loving, amazing relationships of their dreams and who are given princess treatment. Now you have to let go of the old self that tells you you aren't chosen, you aren't prioritized, because you are. You just need to decide, and then each day you want to practice telling yourself, I'm always chosen, I'm always prioritized, I always come first, I am loved, I am worthy, just because I exist. And you want to use these kinds of affirmations and mantras too, where you are the main character because you are, and you're not a side actress, right? That just comes and goes in your life. You are always the main factor in your life, but you can't play the side actress if you want to experience your own movie, right? You have to be the movie star. You have to step into that role instead of the people pleaser or the side piece role. Because who you truly are is the movie star, and your life is your own movie. So again, two key factors to take away from here is number one, self-concept always comes first, and then number two, deciding to choose that this is the SP that I receive, right? This is how my SP shows up for me. This is how they treat me, and rejecting anything that doesn't align with how you want to be treated, right? So let's say your SP is texting you at 2 a.m. and you're like, no, I'm not a side piece, I'm not a booty call, I want them to treat me like, the type of woman that you're consistent with, that you talk to, that you plan dates with, wifey energy. You're not replying back to him, you're not saying anything, you're waiting until he shows up as the version of you that you decided that you want to experience from him. And when he shows that version of him towards you, That's when you take inspired action. And I'm not saying like wait around for him to act a certain way. You need to live your fucking life. You need to have goals and dreams and going after them and things like obviously, which I'm sure you're probably already doing. But if you're not, you need to decide what you want in life and start creating your dreams outside of this relationship with your SP. And when you start to have your own life and love your life and love who you are, you become this very, very magnetic individual that people just naturally gravitate towards. And your SP is naturally going to gravitate towards you and start treating you different because they're going to feel you as that new self, right? As the new version of you. And because you have become a new version of you, they will reflect back to you the version of you that you believe you are. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in one-to-one coaching, the link is in my bio. Feel free to DM me on Instagram as well. Otherwise, I do have audio bundles. They're very, very powerful to help you reprogram your subconscious mind to manifest your desires. And I have an audio bundle specifically for manifesting princess treatment and a living committed relationship with your SP. It includes an affirmation sleep track. It loops for 8 hours and you listen to it at night. And you can put it on very low volume and doesn't need to be like blasting in your ear, you know, you want to be able to sleep. And then I have a self-talk Rampage. It loops for 2 hours, but honestly the Rampage itself is only about I think 5 to 7 minutes, and then it loops for 2 hours. So even if you just listen to that self-talk Rampage for about like 10-15 minutes a day, you're gonna see a massive shift in your reality and in your relationship with yourself and your SP. And I have audio bundles for other areas of your life like business and money and things like that. So if you want that, just head to the link in my bio.